You know what I would love to see? I would love to see Chris Hansen and Dr. Phil make a new show called To Catch an Illegal or something like that. I think that'd be great. So we have these couple of stories about Chris Hansen and Dr. Phil joining in on the deportation effort in some small way, some more than others. Dr. Phil directly working with Tom Homan, who is the border czar, who's kind of coordinating all of this, along with Trump, of course. And we also have Chris Hansen, who's doing his show, which is To Catch a Predator, but I guess he has a new one now. But I guess on his new show, which we'll be getting into here, he's actually been helping to catch illegals that are not supposed to be here, that are trying to get with children. So definitely great. Love it. I love to see it. I love to see Chris Hansen and Dr. Phil joining in on helping us get rid of these sick individuals. So we're going to go into these videos now. Epic. This is from Gateway Pundit. To Catch a Predator host Chris Hansen helps ICE catch pedophile illegal immigrants, and there it is on video. So I'll play that video because there's nothing explicit in there. As Trump's Department of Homeland Security and Immigration and Customs Enforcement crack down on illegal immigrants with raids and arrests, Chris Hansen, the host of Dateline's hit TV show To Catch a Predator, is also catching predatory illegals with undercover journalism. Hansen now continues his mission to catch child predators, including illegal alien predators, hosting Takedown with Chris Hansen, available on True Blue. In a recent episode of Takedown, Hansen confronted an illegal alien, asking him why he was offering $50 for, he was asking for, relations with a 15-year-old girl, but it's in Spanish. And Chris Hansen replied, well, you could go back to Honduras, and Hansen said, and the alien responded, no por favor. And another Honduran illegal had already been picked up by ICE on a detainer, and it's the quickest they've ever seen this happen in the history of Genesee County. Hansen said both had also already been removed and stuck back into the country. So I don't know what he means by that. Both had already been removed and snuck back into the country. Oh, okay, I see what he's saying there. So both individuals that he found that were illegal, they had already been sent out of the country, deported, but they snuck back in, and that's when Chris Hansen encountered them. So Trump's mass deportation efforts have kicked off with border czar Tom Homan announcing that illegal alien raids were underway as of Tuesday, leading to the arrest of over 300 violent alien offenders, including murderers and child attackers. I'll say. I don't want to say it on YouTube. Blame YouTube. It's not me. I would say a lot more if I could. By Wednesday, as the Gateway Pundit reported on Wednesday, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement conducted a large-scale raid in Boston, targeting criminal aliens, including MS-13 gang members, murder suspects, and a Haitian gang member with 18 prior convictions. Colin Linebarger also reported for us that one of the captured fugitives freaked out at the Fox News crew continued to film, and he gave a shout out to the individuals who made his life in America possible, Joe Biden and Barack Obama. Additionally, Trump has sent 1,500 additional National Guard and Reserve troops to the southern border. I talked about that in a previous video last week, adding to the thousands already stationed there to stop the flow of illegals into our country. According to Fox News, Jesse Waters' encounters at the southern border have gone down from 4,000 to less than 500, and that was before Trump's inauguration. We were seeing about 4,000 a day. Hansen joined Waters this week to discuss two of his latest targets, one of who was an illegal and another who stripped fully naked before Hansen ambushed him in a house. So these people, they show up just like Americans ready for action. Hansen, a week ago tonight in Genesee County, Michigan, Sheriff Chris Swanson's ghost team and I did an investigation. Excuse me. Two illegal Hondurans showed up in the same night. Among the other predators, both had been in the country before, gotten kicked out, sneaked back in, and got arrested in the sting, trying to have, relations with a child. And I can tell you, in the week that's passed, they've already been picked up by ICE on detainer, and it's the quickest they've ever seen this happen in the history of Genesee County. So the people that he encountered have already been picked up. That's great to see. Let's go ahead and play this video. I feel like it was a good video by Fox News.
Fox News alert.
Turn it up a little bit.
Boston are getting iced. And Bill Malugin,
I like that. They're getting iced.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
You're not going to believe these new numbers. Days before the inauguration, Border Patrol had over 4,000 encounters.
That's reporting by
just
Fox
a couple
News.
days. Yesterday, they had less than 500. Mexico's falling into line too, building giant shelters to prep for those massive deportations. Mexico's like, what are we going to do with all these Mexicans?
Well, see, I don't like him saying that because it's really not all Mexicans. I mean, you even see it here. There's a Haitian immigrant. There's Colombian immigrants. We have people coming down from Africa. We have people coming from Asia. It's people coming from all over the world. So I don't like whoever this reporter is saying that it's Mexicans being sent back to Mexico. No, it's people crossing through Mexico. They're being forced to remain in Mexico. We're bringing back the remain in Mexico policy. They're not necessarily all Mexican. So he shouldn't be saying that they're all Mexican because I don't even think the majority of them are Mexican at this point. I think it's South Americans and Africans and Asia. So we have people coming from all over. It's not just Mexico. They may be coming through Mexico because that's the easiest port of entry right now, but they are certainly not all Mexicans. So I don't like him saying that.
A lot of tents because illegals are getting iced left and right. And not just by Trump. Chris Hansen is catching migrant criminals. Watch.
You gave her $50.
Yeah,
What was that for? The $50 was for sexo con chica 15 años.
No quería. Yo no quería. No quería yo.
Her niece was 15, and you said you wanted a from her and were going to pay her $50. Are you here in this country legally? Do you have U.S. citizenship?
Soy ilegal.
But you came here, Marvin, for sexo con chico 15 años.
No.
Look, a different person, two different illegals.
No, por favor.
Chris Hansen's the host of Takedown with Chris Hansen and the Predators I've Caught with Chris Hansen podcast. I mean, first of all, great Spanish.
Editing is my friend, Jesse. Editing is my friend.
So these people, they show up just like Americans, ready for action.
A week ago tonight, in Genesee County, Michigan, Sheriff Chris Swanson's ghost team and I did an investigation.
These are the people that are coming into our country. It's not like, sure, it's not all of them, but a lot of them are people that do this because they can come here, they're under the radar, and then they can try to, abuse our citizens. They want to abuse our children that are here. And it's funny to me because we recently had a bill in Congress or the House or something like that, and there was like 150 Democrats that voted against it. And all the bill said was, hey, let's deport all of the child offenders and people that hurt children and other criminals. How about we just deport all of them? And 150 Democrats voted against it. So keep that in mind when you go to vote. Keep in mind that the Democrat Party supports criminals and people that do this to children. And you can say, oh, they don't support it. They have compassion for people. They want them to have a better life in America. You don't deserve a better life in America. You don't have that right. You weren't born here. You came here illegally, and you have criminal records from other countries or here. Get the hell out. We have enough problems here. We don't need you here. And that goes for all of the people that don't even commit crimes. I don't care if you don't commit crimes. If your only crime was crossing illegally, that's still a crime and you still shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be benefiting from public resources and taking jobs from actual Americans. But especially in the very least, we should all be able to agree, get rid of the criminals. Just front and center, first item on the agenda list, get rid of all the criminals, especially people that hurt children. But no, Democrats voted against it. Keep that in mind.
2 illegal Hondurans showed up in the same night among the other predators. Both had been in this country before, gotten kicked out, sneaked back in, and got arrested in this sting trying to have sex with a child. And I can tell you, in the week that's passed, they've already been picked up by ICE on a detainer, and it's the quickest they've ever seen this happen in the history of Genesee County.
Well, from all Americans, thank you. You've done more than Biden's ICE did in 4 years already. Tell me about this guy.
Which I did look into that, and so apparently Trump actually had less deportations than Biden, just from the research that I was doing. But I think the thing about that is that's not accounting for the rate of encounters, like how many people actually crossed and then weren't picked up, because there was thousands a day of people crossing and then they weren't being deported. They were just being let in. So sure, the deportations might be higher, but the amount of people that stayed are also higher. So I guess you can have that. Biden and Obama. Obama was known as the deporter in chief. That's because he deported over 5 million people by the time he got out of office, which is quite a bit. That's more than Trump and Biden. But apparently Biden had a little bit more than Trump. But I think a lot of that has to do with just the sheer amount of illegals that crossed. Just by nature. I mean, there's still people that are having to do their job. There's still deportations happening, and if there's way more people crossing, it's more likely that you'll have a higher number, kind of thing. But now that Trump is actually like focused on it and getting things done, executive orders here and there, I would not be surprised to see by the end of his second term more deportations than Obama even. So we can only hope to see that, because we have way too many people that should not be here, and I do not want people that hurt children in this country, especially if they're illegals. And then not just Chris Hansen, like I said at the beginning, not just Chris Hansen is joining in on helping out. It is also Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil posted a video on X. He joined ICE raids with Tom Homan in Chicago. So I'll play that clip here in just a minute, but let's read this. Newsweek is very biased, but it is what it is. They still have a decent article here. So TV host Dr. Phil shared footage of himself embedded with immigration enforcement officers as they conducted an operation in Chicago on Sunday. I don't know why I said it like that. Newsweek reached out to the White House, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and Dr. Phil's Merit Media for comment via email on Monday. Why it matters. The presence of a celebrity at an ICE operation is highly unusual and could signal the Trump administration's attempt to generate positive PR for its aggressive immigration crackdown. See, I don't know, like, has Dr. Phil come out and said that Trump, or the Trump administration, like, tried to get him to do this? Or did Dr. Phil just be like, hey, I support this, I want to be a part of this? Because, like, who cares? And why is it all of a sudden an issue for celebrities to be joining in on political stuff when we saw all of these different celebrities endorsing Kamala Harris and stuff like that and running campaigns for her? But, now it's an issue because Dr. Phil is helping people get deported. Like, oh no, someone's helping enforce the law. Oh, someone stop him. He's a celebrity. Stupid. Absolutely retarded. President Donald Trump has already begun delivering on his campaign pledge to implement a nationwide crackdown on illegal immigration, expanding raids and giving law enforcement broader powers to conduct arrests. Trump made immigration a central theme of his presidential campaign, and Americans largely support his mass deportation plans. Oh, I do. I definitely support it. A New York Times Ipsos poll from January 2nd to 10th found that 55% of voters strongly or somewhat supported such plans. 88% supported deporting immigrants who are here illegally and have criminal records. Large majorities of both Democrats and Republicans agreed that immigration system is broken. What to know? Phil McGraw, known as Dr. Phil, is famous for his eponymous TV show in which he gives advice to ordinary Americans using his background as a psychologist. McGraw shared a video on X, formerly Twitter, in which he questions a man from Thailand who immigration enforcement officers had arrested. So I'll play that clip here in just a minute. President Donald Trump's newly appointed border czar, Tom Homan, is by the TV host's side in the video. In another video, McGraw sits with Homan in an ICE command center discussing the administration's immigration strategy. McGraw has been open about his support for Trump, appearing on one of his New York campaign rallies in October to endorse him in the 2024 presidential election. Do not refer to Dr. Phil as McGraw. It is Dr. Phil, okay? Do not refer to him as his birth name, okay? It is Dr. Phil. You refer to him as Dr. Phil, okay? Very rude, Newsweek. Very rude. And then they have, like, comments from other people, but that's part of the bias of Newsweek. There's just a bunch of bias comments because they don't like that Dr. Phil is talking about this. It is unclear if McGraw plans to accompany immigration enforcement officers in future operations. In the past year, McGraw has interviewed Trump several times, as well as others affiliated with Trump, such as Homan, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. His show schedule for this week also shows an upcoming episode about the border crisis, championing stricter immigration laws. It seems likely he will continue his collaboration with the Trump administration and produce content about the immigration crackdown. Well, yeah, no. in his interview with President Trump, he talks about the like over 300, like almost 400,000 immigrant children that are missing. And I've seen a lot of, especially Democrats, be like, "Oh, what do you mean they're missing? They don't just go missing." Yeah, they do go missing. You want to know how that happens? Coyotes, they're called anchor babies. They give a family a child to cross the border with. They claim that child is theirs, and then what happens is that child either goes into human trafficking, or I mean it is human trafficking either way, but they go into adult relations. I can't say the word because of YouTube. And or if that doesn't happen, if they don't get put into that kind of trafficking, they just get sent back across the border and then put with another family. And what also happens is along the trek of wandering through the desert and stuff like that to cross the border, they often get abused by the people that are not actually their family. So Dr. Phil has talked about this extensively. It's a huge problem. So I am genuinely not surprised that he is working with immigration. He has been very outspoken on this issue because it's a huge issue. If you haven't seen the movie Sound of Freedom, I highly recommend you go watch it. I think it is the only movie in a theater that genuinely made me cry. It is an incredibly heartbreaking story, and it talks about how we, the United States, are the largest importer of human trafficking, especially children. So yes, we need to get a hold of the border. We cannot continue to allow this. It's absolutely disgusting what is happening there. But before I go on to a rant, let me go ahead and play this video. I thought this video was pretty great.
What's your name?
Seda.
Seda what? Do you have a first
I'll full screen it.
Sam.
Seda Sam?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where are you born?
Thailand.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
I've been in the system before.
B&B?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charged where?
before?
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not talking about lawyer.
What lawyer? You don't get
Are
one.
you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen,
Yes.
but you're not?
Nope.
Yeah, if you're not a
But you've never
citizen,
been
I don't
deported
care. You
before?
don't get rights. You don't get to have a lawyer. You don't get any of
Yeah?
that. You get the
How do you know
out of the
me?
country is what you get.
No, I seen Dr. Phil, on TV.
So on the right there, that's Dr. Phil. If you can't recognize him, it's a little blurry. And then Tom Homan is right next to him to his
Well,
left.
this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children. And he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really. That's a yes or
You've
no
never been
question, bud.
deported?
Nope.
Huh. Let's take him in process and lock him up.
Got it, sir.
All right. Is it transport vehicle?
Working on it. Okay.
So it's great to see Dr. Phil and Chris Hansen getting in on this. I look forward to seeing more of it. I think it's on, like I said at the beginning of this video, I would love to see a TV show that just has Dr. Phil and Chris Hansen on it, and all they do is catch predators, especially illegal predators, or just illegal immigrants. I would love to see that too. I would watch that. I would, whatever streaming service it's on, I would probably pay for that. That sounds great. That would be a great show. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I just thought this was an interesting story because, I mean, Chris Hansen and Dr. Phil helping to catch illegals, especially predator illegals. Love to see it. Absolutely great. But thank you guys for tuning into the video today. And I'll likely be making more videos throughout the day, posting some shorts and stuff like that. But if you like what I'm doing, please support the channel by subscribing, like, comment, share, whatever you got to do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Peace out.